Everyone learns the same story. In 1492, Christopher Columbus crossed the Atlantic Ocean and discovered America. It's one of the most famous moments in human history. But what if that story has a missing chapter? A chapter so old, so strange, that for centuries, even historians refuse to believe it. A chapter that begins 500 years earlier. For centuries, this sounded like nothing more than an impossible legend. No maps proved it. No kingdoms recorded it. No eyewitness accounts from Europe confirmed it. Only mysterious Viking stories passed down through generations. Stories that many historians dismissed as myths. After all, how could medieval sailors cross one of the most dangerous oceans on Earth without a compass, modern navigation, or accurate maps? The Atlantic wasn't just another sea. It was a place of endless storms, freezing temperatures, giant waves, and thick fog capable of swallowing entire ships without leaving a single trace. Even experienced sailors feared it. Crossing that ocean 1,000 years ago sounded almost impossible. So why did these strange Viking stories refuse to disappear? What secret were they hiding? To answer that question, we first need to understand the people behind the legend. The Vikings are often remembered as ruthless warriors carrying axes into battle. But that image tells only half the story. In reality, they were among the greatest explorers the medieval world had ever seen. Their homeland, Scandinavia, was beautiful but unforgiving. Long winters covered the land with snow. Good farmland was limited. Food was never guaranteed. Instead of accepting those hardships, the Vikings turned toward the sea. Generation after generation, they became master shipbuilders. Every voyage taught them something new. Every storm made them stronger. Every journey pushed them farther from home than anyone thought possible. Soon, they weren't simply sailing across nearby waters. They were crossing entire seas. They settled Iceland. Later, they reached Greenland. Each new settlement became another step into the unknown. Every storm made them stronger. Every journey pushed them farther from home than anyone thought possible. Soon, they weren't simply sailing across nearby waters. They were crossing entire seas. They settled Iceland. Later, they reached Greenland. Each new settlement became another step into the unknown. Still, beyond Greenland stretched nothing except endless ocean. No one knew what waited there. Ancient rumors spoke of distant lands somewhere beyond the western horizon. Most people laughed at those stories. Others believed they were nothing more than sailors' tales invented around winter fires. Yet one Viking refused to ignore them. A man who believed the ocean was hiding something extraordinary. He gathered a small crew, prepared a wooden longship, and pointed its bow toward waters that almost no European had ever dared to enter. He wasn't chasing treasure. He wasn't trying to become famous. He simply wanted to discover what existed beyond the edge of the known world. The risks were almost unimaginable. One violent storm could end the voyage forever. One navigation mistake could leave the crew drifting until starvation claimed them all. There would be no rescue. No second chances. Only endless water in every direction. As the Viking ship disappeared beyond the horizon, its crew had no idea they were sailing toward a discovery that would challenge one of history's greatest beliefs. But whether they actually reached America or vanished into the Atlantic forever remains the real mystery.
For generations, the Viking stories survived. They spoke of a land called Vinland, a place where wild grapes grew, forests stretched for miles, rivers were filled with fish, and the climate was far warmer than Greenland. Most historians believe those stories were simply legends. There was no proof, no maps, no cities,
no written records from the people already living there. As the centuries passed, Christopher Columbus became known around the world as the man who discovered America. The Viking voyages slowly disappeared into history. Or so everyone believed. Nearly 1,000 years later, everything changed. In the 1960s, archaeologists working on the northern tip of Newfoundland, Canada, uncovered something extraordinary. Buried beneath the soil were the remains of ancient buildings unlike anything built by Native Americans. They found iron-working evidence, Norse-style tools, boat repair workshops, timber houses built in the exact style used by Viking settlers in Greenland and Iceland. The site became known as Meadows. For the first time, archaeology confirmed what the old Viking sagas had claimed all along. The stories were real. Leif Erikson and his crew had reached North America nearly 5 centuries before Columbus. So why doesn't everyone remember them instead? Because discovering a land and changing history are two very different things. The Viking settlement was small. It survived only for a short time. The distance from Greenland was enormous. Resupplying the colony was extremely difficult. The settlers also encountered the indigenous people already living there. Trade was possible, but conflicts eventually followed. With only a small population and no easy way to reinforce the settlement, remaining there became increasingly dangerous. Eventually, the Vikings abandoned Vinland and returned to Greenland. The settlement disappeared. Nature slowly reclaimed every building. Within a few generations, almost nobody in Europe even remembered the voyage. Centuries later, Columbus arrived under completely different circumstances. His journey created permanent contact between Europe and the Americas. Trade expanded. Empires followed. History changed forever. That is why Columbus became the famous name taught in schools. But history often remembers those who changed the world, not always those who arrived first. Today, the remains at Meadows stand as silent proof that one incredible Viking voyage was never a myth. Long before Columbus crossed the Atlantic, before Spain dreamed of a Western empire, before the age of exploration officially began, a small wooden Viking longship had already reached the shores of North America. The greatest surprise isn't that the Vikings discovered America. It's that the world almost forgot they did. And maybe that's the real lesson history keeps teaching us. The ones who dare first aren't always the ones remembered. If you want more forgotten battles and lost stories brought back to life, this is what Historic Warfronts is built for.